Okay, so you've gone through the green band, you're getting pretty comfortable with just maintaining lag, just the feel for it, right? So you've been doing this, pretty comfortable just doing this. So with the yellow band, we're not only maintaining and maintaining lag, we're also getting to the snap of impact. So what do I mean? So with this band, we want to make sure we get to a good position at impact. So I'm here, I'm lagging, and then I'm snapping. Snap is just impact. It's where you get to at impact. Snap is just what happens in between your lag and your release. Snap is in the middle. So we want to make sure when you get to that impact position, you know, as we established with the green band, there's some lower body shift. And you also notice the handle of the golf club, my left hand here, is more that way than the club head. So I have handle lean. That's really, really important. So what we do not want to do with the yellow band, make sure you're not doing this. What we do not want to do with the yellow band is get to a good lag position and then start flipping at the ball, right? So what happens here is that club head is more towards my target than my hands. And really what this is going to cause at the golf course, if you flip or scoop through impact, that club's going to move up. The club's going to move up. If the ball's on the ground, if we hit up on it, you're either going to top the ball or you're going to have to hit the ground first and then scoop the club up to try and hit the ball in the middle of the face. Obviously, you don't want to do that. So this yellow band is trained to get you from lag to snap. And when you get to snap, that you want to be in this position right here. This is a position where the club can hit down to the ground. So there's two variations to using the yellow band. So number one would be lag to snap, just hitting the ground. So just taking a divot in the ground. Doesn't matter where it is. You don't have to worry about hitting the ground in front of the ball yet. We'll get to that when we get a ball involved. But all we're doing is we get our lag, and then we get to a good snap position. We get to a good impact position. So that'd be the first thing you want to work on. Taking a little bit of turf. Hopefully you don't tear up the driving range too much doing this. Maybe get a mat or a rugged holder or something so you don't tear it up too much. But after you do that and you're comfortable hitting the ground, then we're going to get a ball involved. Now, with snap, obviously you're going to get pretty good at hitting. If you're getting to a good impact position, you're going to get pretty good at hitting with a downward angle, which you do want to do. There is another variable. There's low point. There's where you hit the ground. Now, if we're hitting down, we want to hit the ground in front of the ball. So that kind of goes back to your lower body shift. If you get enough weight towards your target, it should be pretty easy to hit the ball and then the ground. So after you've done some work with the yellow band, just hitting the ground, you can go ahead and attempt to kind of chip shots with it, just like this. Just like that. And notice it's a little swing. It's a little swing, right? I'm not making full reps at it like I would with the orange band, the release band. I'm not making full reps at it. Not hitting it very far. Not really hitting it very far, maybe 10 yards or so. This is a band you could use around a chipping green, right? That's why another name I use for the yellow band is a chipping band, right? So, I'd like, all of you to use the yellow band a lot. If you really do struggle with flipping or scooping through impact, especially, spend a lot of time just chipping shots with the yellow band, and then maybe just chip shots without it, just doing the same feel. Spend a lot of time just using the yellow band, chipping shots. And then one last thing, you can do this statically or dynamically. So basically what I mean by that is this would be static, where I go to lag, pause, and then I snap to impact. That'd be static. And then there's dynamic. So dynamic would be I do this all in one motion. So basically, I go lag and snap together. So that would be dynamic. So I'd start hitting the ground static, hitting the ground dynamic, hitting a ball static, hitting a ball dynamic. That's a good progression to go through with the yellow band. Spend a lot of time with the yellow band. I would get good just chipping shots, making good contact like 7 or 8 out of 10 times before we move on, before you move on to the orange band. Because the orange band, you want to be ready for it. You want to be ready for it. So spend a lot of time with the yellow band, the green and the yellow band before you get to the orange band. Please don't jump straight to the orange band. The system was designed to go through the progression of the green, the yellow, and the orange. So spend a lot of time chipping. Chipping's really good for ball striking. So I want you to really spend a lot of time with this guy right here. This guy should be your best friend, your yellow band. Okay, so as we talked about with the green band, there's some things to look out for, some housekeeping items. There's a couple of housekeeping items with the yellow band. Basically stuff you want to look out for just to make sure you're doing the LS drill correctly, statically and dynamically. So statically, this is what it would look like if I'm doing it wrong statically, right? So you'll notice at impact, the club heads pass my hands. This is why it's really important when you're using the yellow band to just stop at impact and look where you are. Look where you are. One thing you'll generally notice too is when you're doing this statically, the LS statically, yellow band static, is when you get to a good impact position, that band's gonna hit the bag harder. So I didn't hit the ground there so you could hear it. That band should be hitting the bag with some force. Should be hitting the bag with some force. That's a good sign you're getting to a good impact position, but obviously you can visually check, is the handle ahead of your hands or behind your hands? It's really, really important when you're doing this statically that you check that. And then dynamically, this is even easier to discern whether you're doing it correctly or incorrectly. If I do this incorrectly, what's gonna happen is that band's just gonna slide right off. There's no stretch maintained because you're breaking down. As this moves to this position, that band's just gonna slide right off. It's not even gonna hit the bag really. So again, the harder the band hits the bag, the better you're doing, but always be checking that impact position. Is that club head ahead of your hands or are your hands ahead of the club head? This is what you want right here at impact, at snap. So again, dynamically, this is what it would sound like this is what it would sound like band hitting the bag. If you do it wrong, nothing. And this is what it would sound like you're doing it correctly. I'm gonna do this in the air so you can hear just the band hitting the bag. So that's a lot louder. So that'd be the difference between yellow band drill, lag snap, LS, doing it correctly versus incorrectly. And again, auditorily, the difference in sound, it's gonna be a difference between this and this. A lot louder when you do it right.